Hey Fred, we got an article coming in from Joy at Hendersonville, North Carolina. She talked about a article that was written about B12 and whether you needed supplementation or not. Obviously, if you could speak to how the body actually can create its own B12 through, probiotic intestinal flora, as well as the intrinsic factor. But a lot of this article spoke to the lack of absorption by a person's body and related it to such things as what we have on the leave-out list as antibiotics and milk and alcohol and smoking and unmanaged stress and obviously overeating and wrong combinations. But can you speak to the idea about, if it's necessary for a person to supplement or not on B12 or any other vitamins or minerals?
Well, I'm not going to say that it's necessary, but I have seen cases where people with their own diet, their own lifestyle, and they had symptoms of a B12 deficiency besides them being below the normal range. But you can't, I think both vegetarians and people eating animal protein can suffer from a B12 deficiency because I've seen it. There's many, many different reasons, and it's kind of a controversy about the different reasons. But one thing I like to go back to is Dr. Luigi Fontana, a medical research scientist at Washington Medical School, examined some vegans and some raw fooders down there about 5 or 6 years ago, and I had that study available to me. And Luigi happens to be a vegetarian himself, and he was kind of shocked at the amount of people that were suffering from a vitamin B12 deficiency. And more of the raw fooders suffer from a B12 deficiency than the vegans that were eating cooked food. Now, some of them didn't, but the possibility definitely does exist. There are many, many different reasons why this could happen. I can't go into all of them. But malabsorption could be a problem. Having a lot of flatulence could be a big problem, because I've seen people that had a B12 deficiency and were fermenting and had a lot of flatulence. Once they cleared that up, the vitamin B12 that they were producing in the small intestines was being absorbed. Now, the intrinsic factor is an enzyme that's secreted by the glands in your stomach. And that enzyme is what activates the vitamin B12 in the upper part of the small intestines, and that's where it can be absorbed. Now, me, myself, I do take a vitamin B12 supplement, but I take the innate B12 supplement. It's the only raw supplement that I'm available to exist, and I've seen what happens up there. It uses a special process that it costs millions of dollars to evaluate that the supplement is really raw. And it's a whole food. And it's a vitamin D3 that comes from a plant source, so I have no problems using that. Now, for the first 30 years I was on raw foods, I didn't take any kind of supplements. But I noticed that my short-term memory was getting a little, wasn't good as it should have been. So I decided to start, on occasion, take a B12 supplement. Well, lo and behold, it really didn't change my short-term memory thing, because I used to forget my keys, but my memory is really good. So I think you have to look at the whole situation. If somebody is symptomatic and they can't correct it without going on a supplement, and I always recommend that they go to the innate supplement, because I know it's a whole food, it's raw, so it's just like eating the food. It's not like taking a supplement. A lot of the supplements are synthesized chemicals. And some of the supplements people take are stripped down, and then they mix in pharmaceutical grade vitamins in high dosage, and that doesn't work like a vitamin. So I think you have to be discreet and know what you pick, how you utilize in this. But the best thing to do is try to readjust your lifestyle, readjust your diet, make sure you're eliminating all the things that could be a possibility that hindering your absorption as far as the vitamin B12 is concerned. And then you can be in a lower normal range and not be symptomatic, of course. But if you're symptomatic, and it's very hard to tell sometimes if you're subclinically symptomatic. A lot of people, you can't wait till you have neurological damage. A lot of cases, people are having symptoms, but they're just not recognizing them. I think one of the first signs is short-term memory loss, and I see that a lot in some of the people when I speak to them over the phone. So I do send people for tests, then I evaluate their tests. So it's there's no one answer for everybody. I take each person as an individual.
Yeah, Fred, I know you always make that suggestion that people should go out and get, an average blood test from their physician, as well as maybe check out their B12 and vitamin D levels, because that's typically has been low, especially vitamin D. But again, this all goes back to looking at a person's lifestyle, and maybe you can kind of give a last couple of minutes related to a person's, maybe absorption problems related to lifestyle, and what they're drinking, even the raw food community, about how this occurs in them also, possibly.
Well, there's a lot of people that don't really have great absorption. I mean, they're overeating, they're eating late at night, they're eating without letting their stomach empty out, and they're fermenting. The key is to let your stomach empty out when you eat, and of course try to eat in the right combinations. Many people think eating in the right combinations don't make a difference. They say it doesn't bother them. It does, though. They're just not able to see how it's bothering them. And if you're fermenting, if you've got a little bit of food that's rotting, laying in the bottom of your stomach, and you put other food on top of it, you're going to have this ongoing situation where you're going to have bloat and gas. When you have that type of situation, there is a good chance you could run into a B12 deficiency. There's a very close relationship with vitamin B12 and iron. If you're not getting enough vitamin B12, you might have a malabsorption problem as far as iron is concerned. And B12 is also extremely important as far as homocysteine and other factors of your blood test. If you have deficient in vitamin B12, folic acid, and B6, and you have elevated homocysteine, you could have a cholesterol of 150 and still end up getting clogged arteries. So the B12 situation is interrelated to all different parts of your chemistry. If you have a subclinical amount of B12 available for your bloodstream, it could ripple out into other effects of your body besides being tired and things like that. So there are many things that happen to people that are subclinical nutrient deficiencies. And we have to be aware of what they are. This can go on for years. Many people have found out that when they were on, purist type of diets, they ran into deficiencies, micro deficiencies, and they didn't realize it. Once people correct all that, and you're eating the right type of diet, even with 100% raw food diet, if you're getting everything you need, your body's staying relatively clean, you're exercising, doing all the things we know how to do, they're the people that are going to reach the outer limits of our lifespan. So far in the past, in my observation, in the last 50, 55 years, a lot of people haven't lived as long as some of these people think we're supposed to live. I always tell people that think that the raw food lifestyle is a panacea, where are all these people that are living to be 90 or 100? So it is the best way to go if you can do it, if it's socially adaptable, you have the discipline to do it. But you don't have to eat 100% raw to be a healthy person, that's for sure. That's obvious as far as I can see.
Great. Thank you very much, Fred, for that. And don't forget to check out our website, fredbishyforhealth.com, and the Natural Health Plan. And also, if you'd like to have a private consultation with Fred, just email us and I'll get back to you. Thank you very much.